Opening this up to the panel, do you think that watching while in a relationship is cheating?
No, but I don't like it.
You don't like it, okay.
No.
Not cheating?
Not cheating.
But do you dislike it if your partner were to watch?
If it's like an OnlyFans situation where they're paying the woman, but if they're just watching
porn, let's just say
that's what I'm saying.
No issue?
I don't care.
Okay.
Same answer as her.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think it's necessary.
So you wouldn't want it, right?
No.
Okay.
I see it as cheating, yeah.
Cheating? Okay.
I think it's fun to watch it together, actually. It's kind of sexy.
All right.
That's cheating. That's a deal breaker.
Cheating. Jake, your thoughts?
I wouldn't put it in the boundary of cheating, but I'd say it's very much undesirable.
Right.
Women find it undesirable, certainly. What would be because I don't know if women consume the same rates of men, and there's like obviously differentials between men and women here. I wonder if perhaps counter to women's disdain for their partners or men watching would be women who use social media. Would you say that's a fair comparison?
I'd say it's actually a direct comparison. Yeah.
Insofar as
so much not use, but like overly use social media, have a public profile and are doing
where they get attention.
But it's like a gratuitous use of social media for attention, as opposed to needing it for something.
Any challenges there from the panel?
I mean, unless it's like your job, like there's also
Yeah. If you need it for your work, and if you're like
Yeah.
into marketing, or if you've got something going on, then for
like
sure.
if you were dating someone and you're posting on social media
Yeah.
like that, that's different.
Yeah.
Using social media, that's what you said?
It doesn't map on 100% one-to-one, but I think men are much more sex-driven and women are much more attention-driven, and you guys get attention through social media.
Yeah, I would actually say that social media for women is like what for men in terms of instant gratification, because men can just go and get their rocks off straight away, but with women they can get attention, and like those are the two things that we both sort of go towards in terms of instant gratification.
I can see that because they can also be addictive.
Yes.
They both are addictive.
Yeah. It completely depends on the context.
Well, I mean,
of what
if
you're using
generally speaking, when we talk about instant gratification for guys, it's like a sexual thing, right? So
Right.
if a guy's like people call them like incels, they involuntary celibate, then they'll go on time just for instant gratification rather than doing the hard work. But for women, I'd say that attention is the thing that they go towards in terms of that instant gratification that actually it sort of sours your character a little bit.
But I still think it depends on the context of what you're doing on social media. Like, what if you're posting stuff about your husband or your kids?
I'd say
like
if
that, not
if it's in the
publicly.
parameters of like a private account where you've just got family and friends and you're posting about your family, then that's all good.
And what if you're talking about like niche life experiences?
What do you mean, as in like going traveling and that sort of thing, or?
As in like say recovery related type of thing.
Oh, yes.
Or like documenting,
Yeah, so it kind of falls into what I was saying before in terms of having like a purpose to use it that's outside of just, like I said, like gratuitous attention seeking.
I mean, I definitely get like that it feels good to get like lots of likes or go viral or whatever, but yeah.
But it's more about like what's the intention behind it, because if the intention is male validation, because you see that all the time, right? Like you'll see a girl who has a boyfriend who's just posting these bikini photos where her ass is out and there's all these thirsty guys. There's literally no need for that if you're in a relationship, and that for me would be completely unacceptable.
Right, 100%. I
But
can
if
see
she's
that,
got-
but if you're just like
But if she's got one of those like Instagram pages where she's has like a little community of women and they're talking about their freaking chakras or whatever, then and their dinner dates and their tea parties and shit, like that's fine. But if it's directed towards male attention, then that's
so if
different.
it's directed towards male attention, you would say that's equivalent
And
to...
DMs would probably be off unless you follow the person, I'd say.
So you wouldn't date a lingerie swim model because
God,
she'd
no.
be close to that?
God no. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. No.
Yeah.
Too much
insecure?
attention. No, what's insecure about it?
That you can't handle the woman getting attention for her work?
No, I just wouldn't want my wife putting her body online for everyone else to see, because that should be within the sanctity of my home.
Well, what if that's her job, to wear stuff like that draws attention?
I wouldn't go towards somebody who has a job where they have to show their body off all the time. Simple.
And what's the reason for that?
Because that's mine to see. It's not the world's to see.
Okay.
Yeah. What's insecure about that?
respect thing.
I think it's all preference.
But why is it insecure? You called it insecure.
Maybe it's not insecure for you, but I think there's a lot of guys who feel insecure from a woman having that job.
Why is it insecure?
Wait, wouldn't it actually be
I don't
super? Wouldn't it be? So you said bikini lingerie model.
Yeah.
So a guy who's willing to pass up a woman who, on paper, is so attractive that she's able to do lingerie modeling, swimsuit modeling, he's willing to pass up such an attractive woman. Wouldn't that actually be really secure? He's not willing to date her despite her beauty because of the work she does.
Well, what's your name again?
Jake.
I think Jake's values are in the right place, so I don't see it as insecure. But I think there are a lot of men out there who want that type of woman and can't handle it when they actually date this kind of woman. And I don't really understand the exact
Do you think that it's
reasoning.
maybe something that's intrinsic within men? That when we have our woman, it's our woman, and we don't want anybody else seeing her body. And that there's something that even if you're sort of like a guy who says that he's completely fine with it, there's going to be something that grates on you about that, because you've got all of these guys who are seeing your body, and that's what marriage is. You know, you get walked down the aisle in your white dress, and your father hopefully gives you away to the guy, and then you become one. And that's the sanctity of marriage, is being able to engage in that sort of relationship with each other where nobody else gets to see
Well, I
your
think
body.
they get to see you in one way, where, like in a sexual way with your partner. But when
that's
you're,
what the modeling is.
I
though,
don't
the
think
lingerie
modeling needs to be sexualized. Just because a woman isn't wearing like a full coverage outfit doesn't mean she's trying to allude to sex. I think there's advertising for lingerie, which I guess you wear lingerie. in
But the reason
bedroom,
why
so.
you advertise for lingerie is because it's a sexual thing, and you need to sexualize the lingerie
But
in
not
order
swim.
in order to sell it.
But yes.
Swimwear might be a little bit different, but I still wouldn't do it, because just for the mere fact that I wouldn't want everybody seeing my wife's body
Yeah.
in that way. But lingerie is a little bit different, because lingerie is a sexual thing, and
Right.
it's sort of meant to spice up the bedroom. I understand there's a market for it, and I think it would be a healthy thing for couples to engage in that if they want to. But in terms of the modelling side of it, it would just be too much of a... It would just be something that I wouldn't personally go for myself.
Is that a broad statement over like people that model like lingerie and stuff? Are you saying that like, or are you saying that as an overall thing of other people doing it or yourself? Because don't you post like fully naked pictures online?
No, I don't
Oh, I
post
thought
that
you
kind
said
of stuff
you did.
online. No, I'm just saying if you were posting like full nudes, which I don't really know if people can post that on Instagram. I guess some people get away with it. I think that's being attention seeking. You're trying to gain attention from that.
Well, like OnlyFans. Like if you're doing OnlyFans. That was kind of where I was going
And
with
what's
it.
the question about it?
When you were talking about him or men being insecure of being a model, like you said, modeling isn't sexual, but what about OnlyFans where it's literally
OnlyFans,
sexual?
different story completely.
Okay.
I just mean like campaigns, advertisements that you walk into a mall and see. You wouldn't date a Victoria's Secret model because she's showing off her body.
Yeah,
Got it.
but that's in accordance with my values. I
Yes.
understand that there would be guys who would take the sexual side of things, and they'd be more willing to have somebody who's really hot and sexy, and less about the values that I would hold more dear. But yeah, for me, it would the value of sanctity is much more important for me than sexuality. So
If a man is comfortable knowing that like millions of other men are lusting and looking at his girl in like a sexual way, then that. But I think that it's like natural for guys to also be possessive.
Yeah.
And then guys know it's natural to also lust. So I think a lot of guys would be not like that because they're possessive of the person that they're with.
Yeah.
I don't think that's wrong.
I mean, I think it's attractive if somebody has that in them. Like they want to be the only person to see their woman that way. That's
So would
hot.
you quit your work then if somebody asked that of you?
No, I'm a lingerie designer.
What if he provided for you and you didn't have to?
I have passion behind my work. I would never.
but what about if you could do the design part and you could do the marketing part, but you didn't have to do the modeling part? Would
Yeah.
that be a compromise that you would do? You'd take down the OnlyFans and the Instagram photos and everything, private little Instagram, just you and your friends, and you just do
Well, I
purely
don't
the
think
business
you've
side
seen
of
my
things?
Instagram. There's nothing
I haven't, but it's just
explicit
a
about my
hypothetical
Instagram.
question. If would you do that? Because you said you've got an OnlyFans.
Yes.
So shut down anything in terms of public nudity in any regards.
I'd shut down my OnlyFans for sure, and the only reason I'm doing OnlyFans is to self-fund my lingerie business. We launch next February, so we are a startup, and it's very expensive to manufacture.
Do you go by a different name on OnlyFans?
I
You
have a
you have your main OnlyFans,
Yeah.
and then you have another one, Renee.
do.
Renee?
Renee Richards. Yeah.
Yeah, is that yours?
That's mine.
So what kind of content do you post on there?
Lingerie.
You don't post anything nude.
No, I do have nudity on my account.
You literally, she was asking you, and I'm pretty sure you said you don't do nudity.
like
She
just
said on
on Instagram.
No, I said.
Oh, on Instagram.
I
I
said
said
on
on
OnlyFans, but maybe it got
Oh.
miscommunicated.
Okay, so you do nudity.
Implied nudity. Yes.
Well, I'm seeing, I've pulled up your OnlyFans here, and it says, my VIP club allows you to get exclusive content weekly, in-depth conversations with me daily, access to my pussy, and naughtiest content, customs, private lives, VIP. Access to your...
Subscribe to find out.
You want to walk back some of the things you've been saying a little bit here?
No.
Wait,
But
so
the-
why did
So
why
I
did you
mean,
say
maybe
no when I
so.
said
So
we could
Jake
quit?
here was saying he wants his woman to be his. He doesn't want to see other people to see it. So he doesn't want other people to have access to his woman's, which you essentially called insecure. Is that insecure?
No, that's taking it pretty far. I was just
But that's
speaking
what
of the
you
terms
do.
of modeling and the modeling side of the things I'm doing.
Right, but you were like the frame here was like you were kind of talking about yourself to some degree.
Yeah, I was talking about my modeling.
Right, but you weren't letting on the full scope of your online content creation.
Oh, we were on that topic.
Well, that's why I was confused. And I asked you if it was like a broad thing of like women or like more specifically you. Because if you're talking about lingerie, like that's one thing like with other women. But I thought with you meant. I got confused on that. That's
Do you think that a guy would be insecure if he saw that and said that he doesn't want to date you?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, do I think?
Good
I
question.
think that would make him insecure, and he wouldn't want to date me.
No, do you think that if you were dating a guy, went on a first date, and you said, I've got this OnlyFans, he looked it up and saw that, and he said, oh, sorry, I don't want to date you. Do you think that that would be an insecurity?
I don't know. I think it's just like a personal preference. Like I can't say whether the guy's insecure or not.
What do you think?
I don't think it has so much to do with insecurity. It's more like just what are your values? Like what do you prefer?
Do you think that, because the way that I see it is that if a guy sees that and he does engage with dating a girl like that, I would see him as actually very insecure because he's just allowing that to be all over the internet. And I'd say that a secure man has very firm boundaries. And the boundaries would be, no, you cannot get naked and talk about your internet. That's mine. I'm the only one who gets to see that. So I'd say that that's actually very secure and someone who's firm in their boundaries. Would you agree?
I agree. Yeah, that's
So-
a good point.
With that in
We
mind,
call
though,
those beta males.
with that in mind, though, in terms of your own dating prospects, why would you do that if you are looking to engage in something serious in the future?
Because I have a business that I'm starting and I make a lot of money through my OnlyFans and I want to self-fund my business.
So do you think that your business is more important than potentially having a family? And
Yes, 100%.
so you think that that's a good trade-off, is money over... You'd be happy to be single for the rest of your life as long as you have your lingerie business?
As long as I have my lingerie business, I don't care about meeting anybody or having, that's my number one priority in life. It's
Do you
my
think
passion.
that will fulfill you long-term?
Yes,
How so?
I love it. And I'm very close with my family. My mom is my business partner.
What about when your mum dies?
That would suck.
Wait.
I can't even imagine.
Wait, your mom is your business partner?
Yeah.
And she is.
And she's aware of the
OnlyFans?
access to your thing.
We're very close. She knows every single thing about my
Does
life.
she shoot for you?
Shoot my content?
Yeah.
No, it's self-shot. Everything on my OF is
does
shot
she
by
have
me.
an OF?
No. Thought about
Wait,
it.
what does your mom think about the whole prostitution thing?
Prostitution.
Yeah.
You mean my OnlyFans?
Well, it is
Yeah.
a form of prostitution if
Oh,
you're
y'all-
accepting
You're not. I'm
money.
not saying you're a streetwalker, but
You're
Yeah.
saying my OnlyFans is prostitution.
Sex work.
sex work. Yeah.
That's not prostitution.
Selling
Selling your body and
Money.
getting money is 100% prostitution.
Okay, for lack of respect.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's.
And you're saying, does my mom know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows about my OnlyFans.
Is she in favor of it? Against it? What does she think?
She knows the kind of content I post, and sometimes like I'll send her the sets because I'm really proud of like the type of photos that I'm creating for there. So yeah, I mean, she doesn't have anything negative to say. Would she rather me not have an OnlyFans? I'm sure, but we're business partners together, and I'm funding the business, so I don't really know like what else I could do besides.
Would the business run without the OnlyFans? Would it run? Would it operate at a profit or at a loss?
We haven't launched yet, so I'm not sure. But when we do launch, I'm sure that will be the case, and that is the plan.
Also, just to clarify on the prostitution thing, so just the definition: the practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. So.
But you're not engaging; it's like online.
You said conversation. So you're like,
Well,
are you
anyone who's
messaging them?
engaging in your photos and your videos or whatever, I mean,
just
that
think
is
of
a
as,
two-way
like,
street.
a physical thing, but.
And then you did say you're like, well, that's like the disrespectful way. What would be the respectful
Because I
way
don't
to
think
describe
women
it?
who do OnlyFans are prostitutes. I think that's a huge stretch. I mean, is Cardi B a prostitute because she has an OnlyFans?
She actually was. a
Yes.
She
prostitute.
was, but I don't think all these
Once a
celebrities
hoe,
who are on
always a
there
hoe.
are
She's a
prostitutes.
terrible example as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad example. But there's other celebrities on there, singers, and a bunch of other types of entertainers who aren't prostitutes.
Don't
by
you
any
think
means.
that's a little bit of an insecurity thing though? Like being called something like a prostitute? Like if you're passionate and you're like self-confident with your job and everything, like wouldn't that be insecure where you got like offended being called a prostitute?
I am offended by that, and I am insecure about having an OnlyFans. I hate that I have to have one. It really sucks. I wish I was just a trust fund baby to where I could have a bunch of money to start my business, but I am a lingerie model, so I have a great platform to start something like an OnlyFans.
How many Instagram followers do you have?
1.3 million.
So why would you need an OnlyFans if you've got such a big platform on Instagram? Couldn't you just start small and just work your way up, work with influencers, get a digital marketing
Well,
agency, work
manufacturing
another
costs
job,
a lot of
drive an
money.
Uber?
That's why people do pre-orders
Yeah,
and stuff.
but like I
there's
mean,
other business ways.
I've got my own business in terms of my channel and the content we do. We started from the bottom and we've just had to grind, and it's a slow process. Brian has the same thing. I'm sure other people at the table as well, but.
The
Those
business
sort
model
of
doesn't work like that.
Fast money comes with fast consequences as well. Dirty money comes with dirty consequences, and that sort of thing. Going into that to then sort of elevate yourself in the future will have like negative ramifications.
What would the negative ramifications be?
You won't be able to a guy that you will want to be with won't want to be with you because of that past.
Your husband,
concerned with
your
that.
husband and future children will not appreciate naked photos and videos of you being out there on the internet.
Well, that's not the person I would choose. I wouldn't
But-
choose a person who had a problem with
Well,
that.
you can't choose your children.
Well,
They just are
yeah.
picked for you.
I can choose my lover, and I wouldn't choose
Do you
somebody who
want
had
children?
a
Wait,
problem.
do you want children now?
I would love to be a stepmom, and if somebody wants to have children with me, I'm definitely open to it.
Did you say that you said you don't like it, but that it brings?
Hills of Beverly donated $200.
Thank you, Hills.
Ladies, a chunk of you seem confused. What do you actually want? What are you looking for?
We'll come to that in a sec. So you have your question for her, and then we'll get to the TTS.
Yeah. So, like you said, you don't like it, right? But it's just bringing you money for your lingerie business, right? Okay. So, like, I have a past, and basically, when I was in certain things that I felt were demoralizing to a sense, but maybe financially profitable, like, I started coming up with this analogy of how I felt, and I felt like every
speak into the
transactional thing that I was doing that brought me money externally was like morally bankrupting myself. That's just like, I got to that.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't feel, what was the word you used? Like,
Morally bankrupt.
bit morally bankrupt.
I don't feel morally bankrupt about having an OnlyFans at all. I feel very judged for it, but I'm very proud of the content I put out.
So if everybody was fine with it, then you would be fine with it too.
Yeah, of course, because I'm really proud of like the photo sets I put out. I think they're very sexy. They're very.
Would you do it for free?
Yes, because I love content creation. I'm a creative director, so I really like.
So if
putting-
you had, it didn't earn you any money whatsoever, and you still had all the shame and the social stigma that you feel, you would do it still for free.
Well, I think that's what Instagram is.
But it's not putting naked photos of yourself on Instagram.
Oh no, but I would take photos for free.
But I'm talking specifically about the OnlyFans stuff. Would you do that for free?
Well, I mean, I kind of do the same thing on my Instagram as I do on my OnlyFans.
I think it's a little bit different.
I thought
From
you
what
said
we-
that you
from
do
what we
a
just
lot
It's not that
different.
different.
Like
You
access
can't-
to
we all heard
yeah,
you.
you can't show that on
sorry to call you out,
Instagram.
sis, but we all heard you say that Instagram is totally different from
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
yeah.
But the process of it, taking photos.
That's
is
not
the
what
same
he's getting
thing.
at. He's getting at the quote pussy.
Oh,
Like,
the pussy thing on there.
like yeah, I think that's the big part. Like full access to your.
Would you show it for free because you're passionate about it and you enjoy doing it?
Well, I do want to move on a little bit. Porn bad. So going to the TTS Hills of Beverly, he asks, "What do you actually want? What are you looking for?" Go ahead.
That's a big question. I would like to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking for. Somebody that's like actually loving.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of guys that would be prepared to love you, I suppose, but they would perhaps, like, have you ever rejected a guy?
Yeah.
But even
Somebody
though he
that
was
I
prepared
like,
to
yeah.
love you, right? So I'm sure there's more criteria than just a willingness to love you.
Somebody that I'm like interested in. I don't know.
So what are some? Maybe you can give us just maybe some physical metrics that you look for, personality metrics.
Taller than me and interested in something like
Okay, how tall are you?
5, 6, or 7.
Okay, and taller than you, so 5'8".
That's fine. I've dated somebody that was the same height as me too.
Okay. I know you're young, but money, is that a component at all? Like, would you date a guy who works at McDonald's?
They make a lot of money. They make
Not-
like 20 an hour, right?
Well,
Compared to me, I mean, I don't have a job. I just go to school, so.
okay, but you would date somebody who works at McDonald's?
Sure, yeah, if I like them, if they were
Okay,
nice. And,
sure. Any other personality traits that you care about?
I would like for them to share the same humor as me.
Which is what?
I don't know how to describe my humor. Like dry, kind of. Dry, sarcastic. I don't like when I make like a sarcastic comment and a guy's like, "Oh, did I do something wrong? Did I offend you?" And I was just joking.
Okay.
It kind of turns me away.
What about you? What do you want and what are you looking for?
I'd like somebody like Andrew Tate. Somebody with somebody with like similar values to you, or a Charlie Kirk or Candace Owens. Like I really love those values. It sucks that it doesn't align in some ways.
So Andrew Tate and Charlie Kirk, they're pretty
Yeah.
different.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess like a good combo.
Tate made sense because Tate's more like he has wives, different wives. He's a Muslim, like kids with the different wives and that sort of thing. And he's happy to not be so directly engaged with the woman. And I don't think that your lifestyle would bother him that much. But with Charlie Kirk, that sort of character, they're going to be looking for somebody who's very Christian and actually and really abides by that way of life.
We'll go around the table on this, but on what you're saying, Jake, in your pre-show notes, you said that you're a conservative and God-fearing OnlyFans creator.
Yes, I'm a kinky Christian.
That's blasphemous. That has to be blasphemous.
That's probably blasphemous. You're conservative.
Yes.
Okay.
Not with
Just
your.
politically.
That's enraging. I'm sorry.
I'm an open-minded person, and I don't judge people for.
And you're God-fearing.
Yes.
So if God
You said kinky Christian though.
I think God fears you.
You can be kinky and not be putting it. You can be kinky within your relationship with your husband or your
Yeah.
wife and not be
Into
putting.
maybe into
Oh,
black
you can
would
be
good.
kinky with your husband or wife, but not be putting it on,
Yeah.
the internet.
So wait, you're God fearing, but so I mean, by being involved in sex work, by producing pornographic content, by doing OnlyFans, this is probably a bit of a contradiction. You're Christian, correct?
Yes.
Which denomination?
Non-denominational, but I was raised Methodist.
So I mean, wouldn't this kind of contradict the Christian faith by being involved in sex work?
I don't think so. I think my relationship with God is personal, and
Do you think God wants you to be doing OnlyFans?
I don't think God judges.
Do you? Well,
Have you? Do you
hold
believe
on, hold on.
Only God could
Do
judge.
you think God wants you to be doing OnlyFans?
No, I think He wants me to have a successful lingerie company.
But you're doing OnlyFans.
Yes.
Okay,
Do you,
so
do you agree that one of the 7 deadly sins is lust?
Do I agree? It is.
Yeah. So would you say that you feeding men's lust and sort of feeding into that industry is something that would be contradictory
Men's
to the
lust
Christian
is
worldview?
not my fault. If you have those emotions,
If
over
men are
me-
lusting over you and you're providing that willingly, would you say that you're a part of the process whereby
you're
men are
you're
lusting?
literally contributing to it.
It's called being a stumbling block.
a stumbling
Yeah,
block?
the Bible specifically says not to be a stumbling block for others
And how am I a stumbling block?
because you're putting yourself out there
Putting the
for
block
guys.
on the ground.
And women are supposed to be modest. It talks about modesty in the Bible. And you're putting yourself out there so that men can come and pay for it.
Enabling the behavior.
Wait, did you say
I mean-
God can't judge you?
No,
That was a
I
wild
said I
one.
don't think God judges me for having an OnlyFans.
That's like the whole point of the Bible, I think.
To follow certain morals and beliefs.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the Bible?
Yes, yes,
Have you read the Bible?
yes.
How much of the Bible have you read? Like scriptures here and there or cover
Every
to cover?
night, my mom sends me a Bible verse before I go to bed, and that's been ever since the day I've left the house.
Can I share something that I learned? Because I used to read scriptures here and there, and I started reading the Bible cover to cover, and my understanding of the Bible and God.
Oh, sorry.
It's so different now.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
It's very different now when you read it cover to cover because God absolutely does judge. He tells us to leave our sin. And I have my own sin, right? I don't make excuses for my sin, and I don't say that it's justified or God is not judging me. I know that He is, and I try to do better.
I'm not
she-
ashamed of what I'm doing, though.
So she sends you Bible verses and you send her your nudes to look over before you post them?
They're
Good
not
point.
nudes.
Or lingerie pics?
Yes.
Okay.
I think she's making a good point, though, about the nature of sin, though, because we all fall short. Like, we all sin. I lust all the time whenever I see a beautiful girl. You wouldn't want to know what I'm thinking. But I think that there's something key in that to know that it's wrong and to know that what you're doing is something that you need to try and fight against, and that's actually the devil playing with you and
don't
actually
feel that
tempting
way.
you. I know you don't feel that way, but you definitely should about
It's
it.
pride.
Wait.
You're-
Tell me how I should feel.
Well, I think we're going to have a conversation, and this is how I feel, and I'm telling you how I think you should feel. So it's my opinion and your opinion. You're welcome to your opinion, of course, but you are sort of when you're doing OnlyFans, you're definitely feeding into the industry of lust. This is absolutely paving the way for the immiseration of men who consume this content.
Does your religious convictions, does it supersede everything?
What does that mean?
Would you say your relationship with God or your religious views, would you say these things, your faith is one of the most important, or if not the most important thing in your life?
It's not the most important.
What's more important than your faith?
My family.
Okay.
My
So is it
relationship with my
family,
family.
faith,
Family, faith, career.
career? Okay, so your faith supersedes your career.
Yes.
Okay.
Before you said the career is the most important thing and you don't care if you're single forever. So
I
what do
did
you
say
mean?
besides my family.
Like,
Okay.
okay,
And
we were
not
talking
like
in-
building
And so,
a family.
No, we were talking in terms of what I
So,
value having a career
you-
over finding love.
You said you were God-fearing, right? So again, do you think God wants you to be doing porn?
No,
He doesn't want you to be doing
of
porn.
course not.
So why do you
Okay.
continue?
Can I
What
interject?
do you think Satan wants you to be doing?
What do I think Satan wants me to do? I don't really think about what Satan wants me to do.
Okay, so if you're God-fearing and God doesn't want you to do porn, how do you reconcile these two kind of conflicting?
I don't consider myself doing porn, but I know everybody has different definitions,
Okay,
so I
so
don't want
fine.
to debate that.
So okay, fine. God doesn't want you to be posting nude or near nude photographs on your OnlyFans. How about
Okay.
that?
Okay.
And let's say, do you consider it sex work?
No. But it's okay. Like for the sake of conversation, we don't have to debate it.
Okay, I won't even use the term that you don't agree with. Do you think God wants you posting nude or near nude photographs on your OnlyFans?
I don't think God cares about that.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I've heard you talk about your mom a lot, but what about your father?
We're very close too.
You're very close
Yes.
to.
Does he know you do OnlyFans?
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that you have the P word in your profile?
I don't think he's read my profile.
Okay.
But if he read that, I don't think he would care because my parents, I'm very close with them. They know me very well. And
Are your parents still together?
no, I have a stepdad too. We're also very close.
And how does your stepdad feel about it?
He supports me 100% because they know I'm building a lingerie business. So OnlyFans isn't my career. I am using my social media fans to make an income.
Do you make of the money that you do make? What percentage comes from OnlyFans?
The majority.
This is like the biggest cope ever. Like, well, I'm currently a drug dealer selling methamphetamine to 12-year-olds, but it's in furtherance of me starting a swimsuit company down the line. So it's justified because I'm trying to start a legitimate business with my not so legitimate.
Do you plan on stopping
business.
OnlyFans if your lingerie business takes off, even if OnlyFans makes more money than your lingerie business?
Yes.
Do you know where it says in the Bible to like do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't feel like I'm hurting anybody else if that's what
No.
you're getting at.
That doesn't say that in the Bible.
Okay.
That says that in the book of Satan, just so you know. It's do what thou wilt. But in the Bible, there's very strong.
That was a mic drop.
Did you have something on this, or?
Kind of. You never said that having children was the most important thing to you. You said stepchildren, you would be down
I'm
for
open to
that.
having children.
But you're open to it. So if that was a futuristic goal, which it sounds like the only futuristic goal you have is for your business, my whole thing is, you know, what you put out there, it doesn't go away. So you meet the love of your life and they have a child, or you guys have a child, whatever it may be, and they come across these pictures. I don't care if it's on OnlyFans or not. Other people are going to see it. It's going to happen. People screenshot, people, record. I mean, now, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. I am not a huge, I have spirituality. I am a non-denominational Christian, but I am not, I don't harp the Bible every single moment I can, and I make mistakes, just like anyone else in most cases. But don't you, like, is there anything in you, like, what would happen?
What would my children think?
Not, well, you wouldn't be able to say what your children would think, but, like, is that something that, like, you think about?
None of my content is vulgar, so I really am not
It says
ashamed
pussy
of
on your
well,
profile thing.
saying the word pussy and
Well,
the
they have
content you put out are
access
two
to
different
Access,
things.
yeah, access to your pussy.
That's vulgar.
Or you
Access
just
to
say
your
that it's not.
But the photo,
pussy,
but the
and I hate
photos
even
are-
saying that word out loud
So
personally.
not
So
gonna
you're
say it.
baiting them, and then you're saying you're posting like vanilla tame stuff. But I mean, you're baiting men to think that they can have access to.
Yeah, that's how the platform works. Yes.
Well,
I
that
feel like
in
you're
and of
just so
itself is
pretty, and you
vulgar.
seem like you're very well spoken. I just feel like there's so many other things about yourself you could utilize to make money where you're not doing a form of sex work, because yes, it is. I don't mean to say that to disrespect you. I say that because it's truthful.
That's a compliment. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you have some
I think all of
recommendations
us
of
feel
other things that I could
way
do?
too.
Well, for one, if you're interested in doing you have a platform of how many? 1.4 million? There's your bread and butter right there. Do some.
How many of the followers did you buy?
I didn't buy any of my followers.
So
I've
then you-
organic
so you've
followers
built-
I've
at
been
that
modeling
amount?
since I was 10 years old.
So if you've got an organic platform on Instagram of 1.1 million followers and you can't think of something to do that's not sex work,
Well, I also I do that as well. I do both.
Well, there you
With
go.
business and stuff, I could tell you a million things you could do to promote
You
your
could.
business. You have 1 million followers. You could pre-sell your stuff, and that's people
Yes.
pre-buying your stuff.
I
So
plan
then
on
you
doing
can do
that.
that. But you're asking
But
for
you
other
still have to pay
suggestions.
to get something if you want to pre-order something. So where do you get the money to get it made? Because
You can take pre-orders, or you can also go online. I've owned a couple businesses myself. When it comes to getting your sourcing, obviously you need to have a dollar amount.
Hail
You
and
can
well
take-
met. Lol Paladins
Well,
donated
Hold on.
$200.02. She's just here to advertise for more simps to her of. I think she was lying about gay man to not scare away subs. She isn't interested in relationships. Too bad I can't afford the coin for the kick.
Lol Paladins, good to see you, man. Wait, really quick, God-fearing, what's your favorite Bible verse?
I don't know.
When's the last time you went to church?
A few months ago,
When was the last time
Which
you
church
prayed?
was it?
it was a church in the Woodlands.
Which denomination?
Methodist.
Non-Methodist. Okay. I think it's all cap, honestly. I think it's just like
Can
All
I
lies.
ask, when's the last time you prayed?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's all cap, but okay. So let's just
I
move
do have
on.
one question though. You say that you're. Listen, I'm not here to pile on, but I'm just confused about one thing. You said that you are a Christian kink. So you mentioned, like the first guy you mentioned that you wanted your ideal is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is Muslim, and he's already got I don't know how many wives. You know, I mean, how
Does he have
does that
wives?
work? Like you would have to convert to Islam to
I don't
be.
think Andrew Tate's worried about just having Muslim wives.
I think Andrew
he's got-
Tate's got a real.
no, that's not- I'm not worried
He's got like
about-
Romanian wives.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him. I'm just saying that if she's as convicted as
But I don't
she
think
says,
she was meaning Andrew Tate specifically.
She was just giving an
was-
example.
Not all
An
the
example
things
of the
about him. There's just like a
type of
few
man.
qualities. Like people get the whole like image of a very manly man. I mean, let me give a way better example. Joe Rogan, somebody who's open-minded, very, let's say, conservative, but also
like
socially
edgy.
liberal.
Yeah, yeah.
A socially liberal
So a
person,
moderate?
that's how I see myself.
Yeah, it's
Is
not a
Joe
conservative.
Rogan conservative?
No, he's
I don't
not.
think he's not.
I don't
He's
think
a-
Charlie.
I'd say if anything,
Kirk
Joe
is
Rogan would be a liberal.
Yeah, he's pretty.
No.
I,
not.
that's what I'm
What do you,
saying.
what's
close.
what's
Yeah, that's what I'm
conservative?
saying.
Maybe a Tony Hinchcliffe.
He's gay, isn't he?
No, he has a wife.
A type.
Is he bi? You said.
Wait, what do you mean when you say socially liberal? Was that the word you used?
Socially liberal.
How are you socially liberal?
Well, I have an OnlyFans.
Sure.
so
Besides that, though,
that's pretty liberal.
pro-choice.
No, I'm not pro-choice.
Okay. You're fine with like the kids getting the
Killer of
puberty
Cereal
blockers or
donated
whatever?
$200. Can't turn a garden hoe into a house tool. No Christian says God doesn't judge. Put that slogan on your lingerie and breed a new generation of degenerate feminist boss babes who also like to show pee.
Definitely not a feminist.
conservative, but
I'm fiscally conservative.
Oh, okay.